That's not ideal. Doing my headland run in the second field. That's what you'd like to see, a bit of the cow track. Oh, one tidy load of dung for Bowman to take away. Now my level of fabrication is definitely limited. Well, hey, Monday morning. What is happening? I'll tell you what's happening, it's raining. Out in the 155 again today. We've got on the back our little old, very basic cultivator. So it's just a sprung tine harrow type thing we've got here. We've come up to some of our barley stubbles, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scratch them up and try and promote a bit of growth of any weed seeds or grass or barley that's fallen out the ears, anything like that. Let it all green up before spraying it off and drilling some grass seeds in here. So yes, this is a very basic rudimentary machine. I sort of fold the wings down a minute. Right, there you can see it sort of droops down a bit. Need to make some stops to put in it so that it sort of sits more on a level like so. That would be much more ideal. But anyway, we've used it before, we know it works, so you can see there's some here that's already started to self-germinate. So we'll just pull it about a bit, very gently, and yeah, scratch it all up. That's the plan anyway. We've got 2 fields here to do. John's up here moving some cattle because there's some cow track work going on. All sorts happening. Busy, busy. Right, now, here's the job we're doing. I'm happy with what it's doing in the middle, but the wings are doing too much. But it's just because they're like angled down like this. Now I did used to have depth wheels on it, but they were so old and knackered and didn't work, and we actually cut them off. But it does need something like that on the side. But I think we can probably make some stops with some steel we got lying around, just so it sits level up, you know, at its furthest point down. So at the minute I've got the middle piece level, and either wing is like this or like this. Doing a job, what I might do is fly up with the roller and roll everything I've done. I'm just going from tramline to tramline. I've got the height all set on the linkage, so I get to the end, do a nice little spin round like this, just get myself sort of centered on my line, press auto, flick that one down, tractor figures itself out, and then we're going again. It's making a little bit of a ridge here, but actually that gets filled in by the time you come back past it. It's actually working fine. The other advantage to rolling it is we're going to drill this, or Tom's going to drill it with his horse drill. So having a firm seedbed would probably be better than a nice fluffy one like what we're making here now. There's a tram line. That's not ideal. Could have done without that happening, but I suppose there was always a chance that was going to happen. Got one less tine in the ground. It was all going so well. I only had this tiny little strip here and one run down that hedge, and that would have been the first field done. Now you may have noticed I'm sporting a moustache. I'm not copying Crawford, before anyone says that, although he has got a rather good one at the moment. Sadly, one of my friends passed away recently. He had a short battle with cancer, and for his funeral, or celebration of life as they call it, last week, myself and a few of my friends decided to sport a moustache in memory of Zach, because he had a rather good one. So it was just something fun that we could do to remember him by, and I think I quite like mine, so I'm going to keep it for a while. See how long I'm allowed to keep it before Abby says no. So that's one of the reasons I've been so quiet on social media lately, is there's been some stuff going on that I don't really want to share with too many people, but there we are. So I'm done in here now, so I'm going to head down into that corner. You can see a bit of the cow tracks that are going on. You can just about see them over the hedge there. And we'll head into the next field and try and knock that one out before lunch. I'm about to make this lovely new shiny stone a little bit dirty. If I can't odds it, I've got to go through the gap. We are having some cow tracks put in, as you can see. Basically trying to avoid having to run cattle up the main road, which is behind that hedge, over to our buildings, which are down there, from all this block of ground behind us. So we've got a track going in here that will connect down to our private lane, which is yonder direction. So that if we ever need to do TB testing or routine work like scanning with the animals or anything like that, we can get all the animals from this side of the road to the other side of the road, just from like one crossing point, rather than having to take them up to the road and run them all the way down the road and disturb the traffic and various things like that. They're looking very, very nice. They've been fenced as well. There's a tractor here with a post banger on that's not ours, so I don't quite know who's doing the fencing. Doing my headland run in the second field. That's what you'd like to see, a bit of the cow track. So that's all been stoned and bike brakes rolled down. I have no idea if that is the finished surface or not. It's all been absolutely nothing to do with me. But yeah, it's been very nicely fenced. All the soil that they took off to put the stone down has been graded across the field here. I'm sort of just working it in a little bit. Obviously there is stubble underneath that hasn't been disturbed, so I want to scratch out a little bit so that it all greens up. This is the point then at which they'll cross, so they go straight across the road there onto another track that goes left-handed, and then our buildings are just the other side of the hedge there. So we only have to cross the road in that tiny little bit. Save us having to block the whole road and run the cattle all the way down it. We have had it before when they like to jump the hedges and get in places where they're not supposed to be, so that'll make it an awful lot better, safer, easier, quicker. Jobs are good. Right, put the adjustable hammer back where it lives. Just there. John's going dung spreading. That's what we came to hook on. Suppose you want some oil?
It won't hurt, certainly.
Oh, one tidy load of dung for Bowman to take away. Now, I don't know if you can see under the trailer, I did throw a bit right over the edge. But that's okay, because I can clean it up. What we're doing here is, now we're getting into the sort of time of year where straw turns up unannounced on delivery. We want to clear this side of the shed of dung, so tomorrow I'll stick a trailer on and move some. John will keep spreading away, and we'll clean a side out so that we can stack straw in there when we need to. Right, I've got to run to the post office and send out all the merchandise that you lovely people have been buying. Remember, there's a link in the description if you want to buy any of the new stuff. We got the new hats like the one I'm wearing. I've actually got one of the new Big Boots t-shirts on as well, which have been very, very popular. So if you want any of that, link in the description. Current thinking is tomorrow I will either go and move dung in the trailer and help John empty that shed, or if it's dry, it's been dry now most of the day after doing that cultivating, I'll head up with the rollers and roll up that ground that we scuffled. We then need to do some work to that scuffle at some point, but we can do that in the workshop on a wet day. So yeah, see what tomorrow brings. It is the next morning, and as I said, I come up with the rolls. They are doing an absolutely fantastic job here on the stuff that we cultivated yesterday. I haven't done this field yet, but I've done the one next door. I also remembered to bring the drone with me, so I'll put the drone up and I'll show you all these cow tracks that we're putting in as we're going along, doing a little bit of rolling. The conditions for rolling are absolutely spot on. Could not ask for it any better. We've had this nice bit of wind, and obviously the sun's out this morning. Everything's sort of just pitched off perfect, to whereby we've rolled it down really, really nice and level. So you can see now anything that would have shed from the barley ears, or any grass seeds or weed seeds or anything, would have been mixed in doing all that cultivating. And then the idea of rolling it is you get a really, really good soil to seed contact so that everything germinates, and then we'll come in here and we'll spray 1 litre per hectare of Roundup on it all, and then it'll be ready for Tom to drill the grass seeds into. And that'll be a very, very low cost, low effort way of getting some new grass in the farm. It might possibly be going into some form of herbal lay or grass mix to do with the new SFI schemes that are out, but I don't know that for sure, so I'll have to update you on that as and when we do it. The rolls, if no one's seen them before, 6 metre Dalbo ring rolls. You know conditions are well when there's not a whole heap sticking to them, so it's just the smallest bit where it's tacky sort of under the hedges, look, but other than that they're clean. Happy days. So anyway, let's crack on. I'll stick the drone up, you can see the cow tracks, you can see what I'm doing, and we'll get this job done. the old things, them rollers. What we'll do is when Tom drills this, we'll roll it again, but we'll probably use the flat roll just to squash everything down. Again, really good seed to soil contact. I'm all about it. We've established a new lay without any sort of plough, power harrow. Hope you could see a bit more of what is happening with the tracks from the drone shots. It's a fairly impressive job that the guys have done, and we'll be using it at some point in the not too distant future, I expect, when we want to get the cows in for scanning. So when we do that, I'll obviously show you the cows running along their new track. Right, we've got some content for you this afternoon, guys. Got the cultivator unhooked now in the workshop, so you can see it's perfectly level on the floor, and that's how we want it when it's in the ground. So I'm going to rig up some contraption whereby I have some chains to keep him at that sort of level, because the depth wheels that were on it were knackered, and I haven't got depth wheels to put back on it. So that is the plan. Now my level of fabrication is definitely limited, but essentially what I'm going to do is take this old piece of channel here, which used to be a automatic scrape channel. I put a slot in it, so a slot down over this, and weld it either side so it's nice and strong. And then the top of it will be up here somewhere, and then fix a chain that goes down either side. That way, when it's let down, it's got something stopping it from going too far, but it can still flex up if it hits a rock or whatever if it needs to. I've got the channel ready and cut. I'm just going to clean up the area I want to weld to, and then we'll watch me attempt to do some welding. Right, now even with my shocking welding ability, I think that is pretty firm. You're lost without my hat. Get these in the store now. Right, call me crazy, but this is where we're at the moment. We've got D-shackle down there, holding the chain on. We've got chain coming up over the top of this pin that I've welded on. And it will go down to another D-shackle there. The reason I've done that is it will give it the ability to move either way if it hit a stone or hit a low place or something if you want to. So there's a bit of flex. But I can also pinch the chain either side to tighten it up if I want to. All I've got to do now is connect this side to the D-shackle and see what it all looks like. Voila, all done. Now these are fairly tight, they are ever so slightly slack. I did prop the sides up when I put the chain on so I can get it as tight as I can, but we can tighten the chain when it's on there. All this left to do now is to hook it on and see what happens when it does go tight. See if that pin breaks or the welds break, which I am fully expecting to happen. Let's try it out. Well, it does work, but you're gonna have to take my word for it because I folded it up without showing you. Obviously when it's folded up, the chain goes slack. So what I've done is I put a loop on the pin here, so that will tighten that chain up enough so that it holds it more level. I've also noticed I've got a foot missing off that tine, so I need to order another one of those. And I got a broken one there. I had another broken one somewhere else as well, so I need to order a few of those. I'll get some spares. Yeah, I would call that a success. We won't know properly until we use it, which will be after we harvest our wheat, but that won't be for a little while yet because the weather is doing rubbish things. Anyway, I'm going to take this off. We'll end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're aiming for 20,000 subscribers and we are well on the way there. If you want to check out my other links are down in the description. There's also one for new merch. See you guys on another video very soon. Cheerio.